Hey guys, welcome to We Watch Movie. Jay, Mike, bringing you Point Break. What happens when you're reach your limit when you're in traffic? Point Break. Again, this is Hollywood delving back into the 80s. They actually trying to bring back the spice. And
you know, Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze is the problem. They're not in this fucking movie. And they're not going to be in this movie. That makes sense.
Well, Patrick Swayze's dead and Keanu's in the Matrix.
Yeah. But the action scenes look great. They look intense. It looks like it's going to be a Blu-ray quality movie. All the action scenes look cool. But the thing I question is the main actors in this movie. Luke Bracey, who I saw in The November Man in my collections, which I can't say too much because I thought Henry Cavill was going to suck as Superman. And yeah, okay.
Henry Cavill was the
But
shit.
Luke Bracey, I saw in The November Man, and he was this young and up-and-coming hitman who's supposed to be, he's good looking, he's in shape, he's a badass, but he's just like, we gotta do things by the rule book. And there's no special, like, thing there. There's no Keanu thing there. He's just a dude who's in shape. And then you got, who's supposed to play Bodhi? You're talking about Patrick Swayze at his greatest point. Edgar Ramirez is a good actor. I've seen him in other stuff. He's been good before. But he's nothing like Patrick Swayze. So the whole point of Point Break is...
To break it out.
The whole point of Point Break is...
Boom.
The whole point of Point Break is Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze running off of each other. And these two, it just depends. This movie could be great or it could be dog shit like most remakes today. It just depends on those two.
I wish.
And I got low hopes, man.
I really do. I don't think this is going to be that great, well received at all. I just wish that they would go back. You know what? If you're going to remake, I don't think they should have remade. I don't think Point Break is a movie that needs to be remade unless it's going to be done right. Unless it's going to be done in a way that fucking does it justice and gives you what you want to see from that 80s throwback classic movie. Otherwise, don't fucking bother. Don't insult people's intelligence by putting some shit up on the screen to make yourself a quick little dollar.
When you think about Point Break, though, when you try to remember, even if you haven't seen it in a long time, when I think back on Point Break, I remember the interactions, the crazy, intense interactions between Keanu Reeves' character and Patrick Swayze's character. I don't remember the action scenes. I mean, they were okay or whatever, they were fun, but I don't remember those. I think about all the interactions between those two. So when you've got these two guys who have never, I mean, Edgar Ramirez is alright or whatever, but they've never impressed me that same way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I might be completely wrong. If those two kill it and they knock it out of the park, great. This movie could be really, really good. Because the action scenes are updated and they look better, and like I said, Blu-ray quality. But those two have got to work it out. And the detectives, I think they did a good job with those. You got Ray Winstone, who's a badass actor, replacing Jake Busey's character, or not Jake Busey. Ray Winstone's a badass. He could do great in that role, and I see that fitting perfectly. But the main two guys in the movie are a giant question mark.
I just really wish Hollywood was fucking stop with this shit because, you know, they're going to go back eventually and, you know, they're going to remake fucking Rambo. They're going to remake Commando. They're going to remake these things. And it wasn't always, Commando's maybe the exception, but like Rambo and Bloodsport and things like that, that you know Hollywood cannot wait till they get their fat, greedy, little meaty fingers on. They want to go back and they're going to make these stupid ass remakes, but that's all. Those movies had a lot more going for them than just pure action. They had story, they had plot, they had great actors that were doing it.
Man.
But you know, I would have rather right now, I'm not saying, but I mean, just the way that the guys looked in it and just the way they were delivering these lines, and you know, granted, the movie's not out yet, we could be fucking mistaken and just jumping the gun. I'd rather had Shaun White and fucking Lance Armstrong. Like, at least two athletes.
I mean, it could be great, but right now, I don't see the fucking point. The point was the magic that you captured between Keanu and Patrick Swayze. Now, let's look at the guy who directed this. It was originally directed by Catherine Bigelow, who we saw the great shit that she did.
Deuce's wife?
What? This is directed by Emerson Core, or whatever the fuck. He's directed Fast and the Furious, which this seems a lot like Fast and the Furious. It seems like great big action.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Yeah, the whole thing is... But Fast and the Furious doesn't hold a fucking candle to Point Break. Daredevil. And he did Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, which is whatever.
Okay, I like
but
that.
The point is that I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be great. But if these two actors, if Edgar Ramirez and the other guy can create some sort of crazy magic of the originality of their own, then the movie will be good. My question of the day, guys, is if you had to recast this movie, who would you recast as Johnny Utah and Bodhi? You
gotta remember, this is Hollywood remaking a movie. They didn't want to spend that kind of cash to get these actors.
The point is, they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't recast those characters. It's Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
Hey, let's do this.
It should be forever.
Calm it down. Take a sip.
Should be forever!
You need milk.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.